Hello friends, let us come to discuss what are the documents required for admission in this video very clearly. As a headmaster of a school or as the head of an institution, what are the documents required to make admission of a child in your school or in your institution? That is very much important to know all about that those documents which are necessary. So you have to watch this video from beginning to end. I have explained every documents about every documents what are the required for the admission of a child. You can understand it is very easily because at today's scenario you will have read many newses on the newspapers that there is conflict or there is some difficulties is being faced by the headmasters due to the mismatch of the date of birth as what has been posted in the admission register of the school, and it has some different has been put in the case of insurance of that child or anything else when he or she is grown up. So to avoid that, as a headmaster, you have to put the correct details of that child what have been mentioned in his document or document, what he or she has supplied at the time or deposited at the time admission. So what are the documents requirement and what are the, how will be the documents? It has been explained this in this video. So please watch this video from beginning to end. Let us start. So dear friends, if you have not still subscribed our channel, that is Teacher Surya and it is Teacher's Friend, you can understand as Teacher's Friend. Solutions to teachers every problems, episode related problems, you can get the answer in this channel. We are having the playlist teachers official works in 3 languages: Odia, Hindi and English. You can access any of the language video and you can understand anything. If you are having also any difficulties in any problem related to the office work, you can comment us. We will provide definitely the answers to that problem in forum videos. So let us start and subscribe our channel and like, share and subscribe our channel and tell to your friends to subscribe our channel. So let us start. Documents required for admission. What are the documents? First one, document for new admission at the first class of institution school. So admission can be classified into another three categories on the basis of that. Number one, for new admission at first class of institution school. If the child is coming to your school just to take the admission of your first class of institution, it may be nursery or it may be primary one. If you are having the school class from 1 to starting from 1 to onwards, or if it started from nursery to onwards, then you have to accept or you have to know that your first class is in nursery. So when the child is coming first to take admission, their parents is coming, her parents or his parents are coming, so Aadhaar card is mandatory, because Aadhaar card, without Aadhaar card you can't take the admission of that child, because after the incorporation of the Digital India, all the students, those who are studying either in private or government, they have been synced, their details have been synced through Aadhaar card numbers, because if Aadhaar card is seeded to their name, then no duplicacies happen there, because you can't add a student name both in private as well as in government, because earlier it was there one child's name was in private school also in government school, because to get the benefits from the government. So to abolish that, to avoid that, to reduce that, this Aadhaar card seeding incorporation, or government has incorporated this Aadhaar card in seeding. So Aadhaar card number is a must, and you have to collect the Aadhaar card of that child. Then Aadhaar card number of his father, Aadhaar card of father, and Aadhaar card of mother. It is very much important. So you keep first the Aadhaar cards of parents as well as the child. That is very important. After Aadhaar card, another important document which is you required to keep from the child, that is birth certificate, because you will have studied that when you are applying for any job, the date of birth is you have to put that should be mentioned from the birth certificate, or the number which have been put in the, that is 10th birth certificate. So date of birth is very important, because if date of birth is unmatched, then you may not get the job, or there will be many other issues you will face, or that child will face. So how the birth certificate you have to keep? Birth certificate you have to, if you have to put the date of birth in your admission register, so you must have to put it from the birth certificate of that child. This is, you have to clearly remember it. You don't put the date of birth number from the Aadhaar card, because sometimes what is happened, the date of birth what is mentioned in the Aadhaar card is different from the date of birth in the birth certificate, because that is mismatch. Something happened in many child or many man or woman, it happens. But you have to put the date of birth from the birth certificate of that child. You have to remember it. If birth certificate is not available with that child due to their parents ignorance or any other things, then you may collect also their polio card, that is the vaccines what the child takes after the birth. There is also the date of birth that child also is mentioned, that can be accepted, and you can write it from that polio card. If it is coming from the Anganwadi center after completion of Anganwadi school or Anganwadi classes, then you don't have to bother. What will have mentioned the date of birth in Anganwadi certificates, you have to put in your certificate, put in your admission register, and you have to keep the documents of that Anganwadi certificate. That is also very much useful. You will have not to bother anything else. Then next, after birth certificate, you have to collect the bank account number. Why the bank account number? Because bank account number is now essential for every child, because all the transactions, that is digitalized digital India, all the transactions are being made by the government through online, and for online mode, that is DBT, direct beneficiary transfer, it is happening. So whatever the either scholarships or escort allowances for the PH students, or any MDM, sometimes MDM cost also is being transferred to the directly to the child's account or his parents account or her parents account. So bank account number is near mandatory. So what are the account number of either father, mother, or that child, you have to collect, and you have to keep the xerox of the front page of those bank account number. You have to keep it very clearly and correctly. Okay, after the bank account number, what is the document you require? That is mobile number, because without mobile number at the today present condition, you can't do anything else. If you have to call a meeting, either PTA, PTM or SMC, then you have to keep the number of the contact number of both parents, father and mother. And if the child is also having a number, you can keep all the three numbers. And mobile number is essential, because sometimes the higher authority also asks for mobile number of those child. So you have to keep the mobile number, and specifically you can keep it the WhatsApp number, because WhatsApp number is very much essential to communicate any message without any difficulties for future. So you have to keep the mobile number. Then next, what document is required? That is Anganwadi TC. I was telling, if the child is coming from the Anganwadi or transferring from the Anganwadi centers to your school, then you keep just Anganwadi TC. No need of anything else, because all will be there. Only Aadhaar card and every other things you can repeat, but the birth certificate, date of birth will be mentioned in the Anganwadi TC, as well as his name and or her name will have mentioned clearly. So all those documents we will summarize it. What are those? As a whole, what documents are required? Here I have mentioned. Here you see, number one, Aadhaar card of self or student, Aadhaar card of father, Aadhaar card of mother, birth certificate, bank account number of either of father and mother, contact mobile number etc. if available. So all these documents you have keep very clearly, very perfectly through in a file, and all the details which you will put in the admission register, it should be copied from all these documents what have been provided by the child, because in future if any dispute occurs in between you and government or any other institution or any other organization or any financial institution, you have to just show the admission register and the documents what they have provided or what have been provided by the parents. So nothing will happen to you, and as headmaster, as a head of the institution, you will be free of tension. So this was first type of admission. We'll discuss next type, two types admission process. What is for transfer case admission? It is of two type. If some boy or some child is getting transferred at the beginning of the year session, that is academic session, or in between the session, two things may be happened. So what are the documents required? I have just make it summarized. You see, transfer certificate and school certificate is very mandatory, because transfer certificate and school, what the difference? If the child is coming from any school where he or she was reading or studying, suppose at that school only will have, that is a primary school and it is having class 1 to class 5th. If that child is coming from class 4 after completing class 4 to your school to study the class 5, then he or she has to bring, that is transfer certificate, because the course has not been finished what is there in that school. That is clearly you should understand. If that child after completing all the 5 classes they are from primary school, then that child must will have brought, that is school living certificate. So you have to bring one, less you have to keep that certificate. And here no need to worry what will have date of birth, what will have his name or her name, what is his parents name, mother's name, everything you just copy from that certificates. That is enough for you, that is the sole document for you, and you will not to need anything in future. Any dispute occurs, that certificate will act as the uh, uh, that is evidence, clearly evidence. Okay, next, Aadhaar card self, Aadhaar card of father, Aadhaar card of mother, and bank account number of father, mother, student, you have to keep it up. Then contact mobile number you have to keep. Then third category, admission, for admission without TC and SLC. This is one of the critical thing happened in rural schools of the India. Some child they are getting admitted by their parents in private schools just to make them very well educated, but they don't have so much money to provide or to fulfill the demand of the private schools. After some years or 1 or 2 years, they face very much financial difficulties to continue the study of their children. So what they do, they just transfer their child from private schools to government schools, but they are unable to pay the respective dues of that private schools, and the private schools don't allow them to leave the school, and they don't provide any TC, transfer certificate they don't provide, and they demand the what are the dues they are balance for that child, if the parents has to deposit, then only they provide TC. But sometimes there disputes happens between the parents and the schools. So TC is very much difficult at that time to get or by those parents. So the parents comes to the school and tells headmaster, sir, please make admission of my child in the school. So as a headmaster, you have to ask, bring the TC from the school. So here say the parents becomes helpless because they are very poor. So there are two conditions. If the child has taken admission that private school with proper that is well arranged manner, and his Aadhaar card number, if they will have added or seeded to the school, then online, then you will see that the a student's ID will be generated. So that ID number, that ID number, student ID number is very mandatory. Without that, you can't make admission here, because from which date the Aadhaar card has been seeded to the student's number, a student ID is being generated, and that is compulsory. Wherever the child will go, that ID of that child will be assigned with that. So another admission cannot be happened. So you should make understand to those parents, they must have to bring the transfer certificate, schooling certificate from that private school. That is one case. If in private school the admission has not been properly done, or they have not seeded the that is Aadhaar card number to the students admission at the in the online, then you can also take admission, make admission here, but with a affidavit or declaration. What is declaration? Affidavit, the parents will provide that affidavit, my child is not studying anywhere and his age is this as per mentioning in the birth certificate, and due to some problems he had not gone to school like this, then you can make admission of that child with respect to his age or her age in your school. So in future nothing will happen to you, because if any disputes happens, you just show the declaration affidavit of that for those parents. Then your birth certificate require, Aadhaar card of child, father of mother, Aadhaar of mother, and bank account number and contact mobile number. All those documents you have to keep properly. But affidavit must be there and declaration must be properly written. You just write that declaration or affidavit so that whatever the disputes happens in future, either legally or any other things, so you don't have to bother anything else. You just enjoy and you show the documents what you have got during the admission. So these are the documents which you require at the time of admission. So I think you must have enjoyed and you must understand what are the documents needed for the admission of a child in your school. If still now you have not subscribed to our channel, definitely subscribe and solve your problems and make comments. If you have any problem, official problem, we can solve by providing videos. Okay, thank you very much watching this video. Thank you.